I'm Michelle Lynn. I'm the CEO and founder of Novitas Communications. We are a full service PR firm. We focus on issue management, crisis communication, and corporate communication. We are headquartered in Denver, Colorado. I'm excited and proud to introduce Imani Wyatt. She is our 2024 recipient of our Diverse Voices Scholarship. Several years ago, we set up the scholarship to encourage underrepresented students in the communications field to pursue a degree in communication, public relations, marketing. And we believe this scholarship not only benefits the recipient, but it also enriches the public relations industry and profession by bringing more voices to the table. It makes for better, more inclusive, and more resonant communication efforts. And so with that, I'd love to introduce Imani. Imani, we are so delighted to have you here. Imani, would you mind telling us just a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So my name is Imani Wyatt. Originally, I'm from Harlem, New York, but I decided to pursue my education in Atlanta, Georgia, which is the new mecca for film and entertainment. I started getting interested in communications when I realized there weren't enough people like me in certain spaces. There wasn't a lot of media representation. And so I decided to pursue my associates in mass communications to not only just provide a social justice towards kind of women of color, but as well as just seeing representation of people like me in media. And yes, so as of right now, I'm currently completing my associates in mass media. And as of right now, I will be completing my bachelor's in public relations at Clark Atlanta University starting in the fall of 2025.
All right, you moved to Atlanta. What do because it's a mecca for film and entertainment, what do you see yourself doing with film and entertainment? How do you want to, um, you know, present more women of color or Black women in media or in film?
Absolutely. So I would like to first start off by saying that I would love to create a positive platform for people, women of color in sports, and as women in general for sports. I feel like we don't have as many opportunities when it comes for a male-dominated sport, such as charters, brand deals, sponsorships. And I feel like in the past few years that this has grown because of two amazing ladies that you may hear in the media, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But I recognize the women that also came in before them as well, who still just haven't had that recognition for how amazingly they contributed to the game. Secondly, I would love to get into Black business and entrepreneurship. Um, a lot of times I would like to, or more say, I would like to incorporate people who look like me in the media when it comes to business. Say like one, for this summer, I was able to actually work with a clinic where they're actually changing their community one by one, and no one was aware of it. So there is a health clinic in Atlanta here where they're able to help people who don't have Medicaid that are able to take drug testing for their jobs. Some people who may not have the proper documentation in order to get into work and things like that. And I was able to do a press release or a practice press release for them for class. And basically just talking about how they're helping people in the community who might not have that same advantage as others who were born here, and we have our documentation, to get drug testing and all types of medical testing done for them. So those are just a couple of the things that when I say I want to jump into business, as far as the PR side, to create representation for amazing businesses and athletes and people of color in general in these spaces who need that platform.
Tell me about your interest in entrepreneurship. Like, where did that come from? Um, how is there somebody who influenced you or somebody who's really inspired you?
Entrepreneurship came from seeing my family. Um, I grew up from a family of poverty. Um, I always wanted to change my family's life, and I never really knew where to start. And for me, business came into play when I started to learn about foreign exchange, stocks, and I think generational wealth just interests me in total because, like, wow, you can really change your family situation by just investing in something little, like a water bottle or electric energy or artificial intelligence. And for me, investment is looking into ownership. And I feel like ownership really played a big role because for me, I've rented or been in apartments my entire life. And for me, I feel like entrepreneurship can really open a gateway to change my family's life. So once I jumped into that and I realized that I wanted to get into it, I wanted to become an advocate for those businesses.
If you could create any kind of, like, you could wave a magic wand and you could do anything, and after you graduate in 5 years, what do you think
Mhm.
you would want to do?
I definitely would like to be a well-seasoned publicist, um,
Okay.
working with women's sports teams. And eventually, I would like to go back to graduate school in order to work on becoming an agent as well. But I would like to eventually open my own PR firm,
All
um,
right.
specializing in sports and entertainment.
That's very cool. Well, I will tell you, being an entrepreneur is the best of times, the worst of times. But um, you talked a little bit about, and it really aligns with our mission of the scholarship program. Um, you know, having more women of color in the public relations and communications and entrepreneurship and business space. Where do you see areas that the public relations industry can improve and can improve their cultural competence?
Absolutely. I feel like it's about telling more stories. A lot of the times, I feel like in PR, we have kind of like a standard on what stories can be told. Um, and I feel like a lot of times we have to get to the hard truth. Um, like, for me, I feel like as far as public relations and getting more inclusive, I feel like we can just reach out to more of our clients who are not everyday clients. Um, and for me, I feel like if I had to say one person, I would love to maybe interview or have a client just practice and play. Um, I think it would definitely be Malala. And she is a definitely like a world activist for women in Pakistan who are currently fighting like for their rights, um, and especially with everything that's going on right now. And I feel like telling stories like hers would definitely bring a perspective for business owners or, like I said, people of color or women of color, or all women in general, um, in order to kind of make the PR space more inclusive. So yes, for me, I would say the answer to that question is just having clients wouldn't be your everyday clients.
Have you seen any PR marketing campaigns where you're like, that was good, I liked that, I want to do that? Anything that's like really stuck out to you, or been maybe even a North Star for you?
I think definitely the WNBA's Everybody Watches Women's Basketball campaign. I think they have done an amazing job when it came to that campaign. And I think one of the brilliant things they did was they had this one commercial um, where it was just, they were basically describing why the women's basketball is so light and it's beautiful to watch, but it was just like really aggressive, and it was the girls showing their
Oh,
passion for it, like growling and slapping the ball on the floor, yelling at the ref, and I love that ad. I loved it. It really stood out to me.
Imani, what message would you want to tell the rest of the PR industry if had their attention? What message can we spread from you, who you've overcome so much and you're such an inspiration? I think I'm really excited about the changes that I think you can make in the PR industry. What are some of the things that you want people to know?
I think what I would want people to know who are in the PR industry is that the game is going to change. There are going to be more people like me in spaces. um, and misinformation in the media, it will be tackled. It will be destroyed, because I feel like it is my responsibility as a Gen Zer, in the public news or in media, um, that I really tell my people's story and I advocate for them correctly. And I make them look the best of the best because for me, I really have a passion, for representation, young girls like me who want to get in the media and who don't know where to start. So yes, that is my goal as definitely a publicist, to kill misinformation and tell beautiful stories.
Well, we are thrilled to be able to support you in that goal, and we wish you nothing but success. And I cannot wait to see what you're going to do in the next 20 years. I'm going to be keeping my eye on you, and watching what you do, because it sounds really exciting. Thank you so much for joining us today. And with that, happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.